Testing, 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 testing. Okay. Seems like we are live, guys. And we also have some music soundtrack playing in the background. My webcam can be adjusted a little. Yes, it's better. So we already have the chat box working. SaGa is here. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I will be pasting on Discord that we are live. We are live for some banner talk. We are live. Live. Okay, so welcome, my friend. And let's wait a little for more people to join us. So those that arrive, say hi so that we know that we can start, because it's better when we have more people, at least 20 or 30 people around, so that we can go on without going back. Okay, we're back. John Strong is here. Apple Gun. You guys, it's my mistake, sure. I said one run that I forgot I had opened two. You were doing glitches, right? Actually on the third. Welcome, you Flux, as well. I'm waiting for more people to join, but we can already kind of discuss the changes before we go for each one of the characters. I do believe that they are buffing bosses in Global. Yet again, why? They buff endurance and will a lot. And they are also adding even more damage reduction for some characters. Like, look, damage taken decreases. Instead of 30, it's now 40. Why? Lita also has that. She has a 40% extra damage reduction. Warrior, another 40% as well. Lolo was already good enough. They only buff in endurance. Then for Scarecrow, they increased the damage taken decrease for all allies from 25 to 30. And for Gourmand, they didn't change anything, but Gourmand also has lots of damage reductions. So it's strange. I do believe that they are changing a little bosses. Not much, but it's because our characters are better as well. Makes sense, yes, but also means we have to pull more. Hello there. Copy. Applegun says, are you going to stick with a new account? Probably not, Applegun. It's because I don't want to spend for the characters that I'll be skipping. So I'll probably keep this as a side account for some specific characters that I don't get in the main one. But it's mostly to showcase that with just the 5 protagonists, we can clear all content in the game right now. Poroquinho, that's... my cat... Look, we are on the new studio. Let me remove the background so that you can see what a cat can do. Poroquinho is a dare. Look at his face. He's looking at me. This is not somewhere you should be, Poroquinho. What are you doing there? I'm still cleaning up the house and arranging everything. So that's why he is doing this. Things are not fully ready, but they will. They will be eventually. So, are you going to pull on your main account, Lolo or Dolores? Lolo first, and then I don't know what to do later. Now let's discuss a little more about the changes. As you can see, they are kind of just getting more damage reduction than anything. Scarecrow is now much better for people that pulled for Minstrel. It's not because he got changes, he kind of did by getting a better damage reduction and also more OG points. But if you're using him with Minstrel, Minstrel also easily gets into overdrive. And he will also get into overdrive faster, so that you can keep using his skills. He's a strange type that works both on farming, but also on fights with multiple enemies, but also without. And he makes blunt squads even better. I want to kind of check out on Minstrel again, because our Minstrel is much better than the JP version. Okay. We have the Elemental Enhanced Blunt, but we have the Minstrel Song. And also all the other stuff from Minstrel. But the thing is, you want to use blunt attackers with Minstrel, and when you are using Scarecrow, Scarecrow makes it so that your blunt attacks you then grant attack boosts, and then also grant blunt attack boost that is specific to the blunt elemental, and also generate BP and apply defense boost. That's the most interesting part. So you also be buffing endurance, and we use lots of things that you get from just using blunt attacks. And he's a gun user, he's gonna help a ton on Remembrance, especially for those that have been skipping some units. Like, I skipped Formula, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay, because Lolo replaces a Mia for me, and then using some other gunners will replace Formula for me, also new content. Because Scarecrow decreases damage taken by quite a lot, and if you also get the Warrior guy, he will also decrease damage taken by a lot. They will be okay. Not that they are better or anything than Formula, but you only need 5 styles on Remembrance, so I'll have to make it work. This guy here is kind of crazy. He's a debuffer, and he debuffs SGR Dexterity and Agility one type of skill, but Endurance, Intelligence, and Will in another type. It's strange because you see that you debuff Endurance and Will, but then Intelligence only, and then SGR Dexterity and Agility. So the debuff parts are kind of messed up, but he can guarantee some of the debuffs if you have enough BP. So it's a little bit RNG, but, well, for Remembrance, you just restart till it works. As for other content, I doubt people will be using water for any other stuff. It just works well because he still gives a lot of effects, he can debuff here and there if you don't have, like, Misty or Minstrel, but he won't be used every time. It's just a character that works. Multiple of 2 turns, Cheerful Rhyme to all allies. This is this type of skills that he will be using. It's kind of hard to explain him without going to Naorma SaGa, I guess. We'll have to check Naorma SaGa to explain him a little better, because there are skills with a name and we will not be able to understand without checking. And he comes in... Okay, he is here. He is here, and we have to discuss him. He also increases your damage, as you can see here. Strike, blunt, damage boost. Those that pull for those 2 banners will have a good time with blunt and also with gun remembrance. All of that. So we have 18 people. I wanted to wait a little more for us to start so that we don't have to go back and discuss everything. Can we wait a little more? But overall, I do believe that for most players, especially if they skip Ramia, it is better to pull for Lolo and see if they can get Dolores later, because Lolo is still a very useful character and he pairs up super well with Suna. They don't clash at all, so it'll be very nice to have both together. They will give everything that you may need in most fights. Suna plus Lolo is a perfect combination. Hey WP, welcome. No worries. It would be nice to wait for 30 people if possible, but if they don't arrive in like 4 minutes, I'll start anyway. I like to stream around this moment because we can get people that are already home after work. I know that on US side, most people are having free time right now. Dolores? Dolores. Dolores. And if you go for those 2 banners, I highly recommend you skipping the next ones. Highly recommend. Because you just can't summon on all banners. And all of them will seem appealing, but they are not. You can skip many banners, even though they don't like so skippable. Here, we will get those 2 banners. Blah is nice, but like I said, if you already pull here and you get 2 gunners, like you're gonna get the Scarecrow and you're gonna get the Warrior guy, it will be very nice to skip Blah banner that has Byaku and also skip Philosopher banner that has BX10 and Musashi. You cannot get this now, man. Skip them. Because some players will have to go further and try to get gens from Spiral, from everything, and will be able to get them gens only by the end of the celebrations, so that's it. Hey, Permanent Bennett, and skip one skip. Big always tries to pull, right? I feel like I want to pull for Dolores, so I can skip Alan's banner, so I can summon for Sarah. I see, copy gets it. I hope the banner's that's for 30 days. But you wanna skip Lolo. The Blap is godly for Gunren. It is very good, but like I'm saying, we are getting too many gun units. We can make it work. Blah works, but I don't know. We can make it work with different units. And like, if people are pulling on both banners, sorry, it's not the right that. And get 2 new gunners. Some people already got Formina. That's 3 new characters to play with. Like, Sarah is the only bow unit that we're gonna get that will make a big impact for those that didn't have a Sarah, because getting a new Chirei only replaces the old Chirei, and getting a new Liz only replaces the old Liz. It's different. We have to make it work. Lolo and Lolo is for you. I'm gonna start with Lolo as well. Musashi is the only one you care about, you Flux. It looks pretty cool. These units look pretty cool. I mean, BX10 looks pretty cool. Philosopher is someone that can also improve pierce damage. Byaku has a very nice sprite, so does Blah, but I don't like this guy here. He's the captain from the world I was visiting on Emerald Beyond. Gotta get a werewolf because it's a proper werewolf and not fake resin form. You can also wait and get them later. Every time I save, I get bad luck, so no point just full. Oh, really? I need more help with X than MRs. It's just that. I see. Dolores is gonna help a ton. It is gonna make most remembrance fights a joke. Water can lower will a ton. Yeah, Water was made to help with the new remembrance as well. But not just that. He works in other stuff as well. So guys, we have close to 30 people around, so we can actually start all the discussion. We're gonna start with Dolores and how they changed her. Okay, Dolores banner. It's because it's super hit on Brazil. 104% endurance in deck in will, sorry. Because I believe in JP bosses do a little less physical damage. And that's okay because it keeps her on average levels, nothing terrible. She does have very insane STR, 141%. She's an offensive type of support that also grants you some defensive stuff. That's why it's so good. They gave her an extra 20% damage increase, but she already has offensive defensive skill 7. This gives her 80% and then 30% damage reduction. You can check here on JP. And it's just like Suna. Suna got it, and she also has it. Partners in crime. Oops, wrong tab. And she also decreased damage taken again, but in this time it's 40%. So see, 2 different damage reduction. For a character that already brings other effects, like for example, she has this passive number 2 that she will give to all other allies if she uses skill 2. I hope that they buffed this to be everyone so that she had double the effects, but it's not like that. She already has an cast for everyone else's. When you use a slash attack, you're gonna buff the offensive SGR, Dexter, Agility, and Intelligence, but it's to all allies, so that means that small, it's 5%. But they will also get an attack boost that's 10%. I really don't like this, it's useless usually. But when you use shadow attacks, that's the best part, you're gonna buff endurance and will. We usually prefer this to resist, but it's just 5%, but it's for everyone. You're also going to apply defense boost, that will decrease damage taken by 10%, but only for that turn. So if you have cards that use Slash and Shadow, they will be buffing 5% on each hit. Let me just check if it's really 5, but I do believe it's 5, because it's AoE. It is like Mirza. Mirza does similar. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's 5%. So you are going to get status buff, attack boost, defense boost, but there's more. On the Battle Begins, she has 13 BP because of skill 3, but on Third Begins, she always grants Weak Marker for Slash and Weak Marker for Shadow. Both have medium effect. So when you use a Slash plus Shadow attacker, you're going to debuff the defense of the enemy 2 times by 20%. That's actually 40%. It scales just like Morale and... Not Morale, actually, just like hit ups and damage potential passives. But if you have too many hits, this is going to scale super fast. And if you use Slash attack or Shadow attacks, you get 1 BP. I don't know if this stacks, but probably does, right? You're gonna get 2 extra BP with herself and for other cards that have Slash and Shadow. That's why she works super well with Sugunas. It's going to buff Suguna's damage by a lot. Saruin back on being good. Fake Gustav will be good for a while. But then there will be other Slash and Shadow damage dealers as well. Let me see what people are saying. Does Water lower will? Yes. I really need for Road Blocker. Yes. Gonna get Werewolf because it's a proper Werewolf. Or I can lower Will Tone. Neo is saying morning, good morning. And Chago Travi is also here. Welcome, Chago Travi. So there are a lot of things. Also, when weak attack lands, she activates S3. Her damage comes from row-based attacks. Well, it's not as good as Yuna's, of course. Not as good as Kihachi, for example. But she attacks 5 times. And then another 5 times if you use skill 3. That means 10 hits. So each hit will be debuffing the enemy resistance by 40 actually. Because she's attacking with both Slash and Shadow. So even though it doesn't look that strong when you look on it, it will actually scale super well. And you can use Yuginas and you can even use Kihachi right after because she decreases Slash defense too. And it's easy to use Yuginas because he's not just damage, he also gives you defense boosts. Sorry, defense ups. That will decrease damage taken. And she also gives you defense boosts. Look. When landing shadow attacks, defense boost to all allies. I don't think this has a limit, that's why Sugunas will give even more defensive support. Sorry, there's another tab that I should actually start closing some tabs. Let's look on this. When using Shadow. Oh, she's the only one that casts. No, this will be applied to everyone. On skill 2. There's no limit. There's no limit. So Sugunas will trigger this 3 times, and Dolores will trigger 2 times. So you get lots of defense boosts just because of this. But the best part is related to using Shadow. The defense boost part. So there is this little problem that she prefers to have Shadow damage dealers instead of Slash. So glad I rerolled when Shure came out and started over then. Nice long. Yeah, all the new units are much better than before. Ludwig is also good. Yeah, Ludwig as well. It's going to be very strong in the future with Rastaban and Ray. Yeah, Rastaban is also Shadow and Slash, right? What about Ray? Ray's only Shadow, no? Rastaban is here. No, this is Yudon. Rastaban is another green-haired guy. This is Rastaban. And you can see that there is Slash and Shadow. As for Ray, I don't think Ray has Slash, but at least the Shadow part, like I said, is the best one since you're gonna get the defensive buffs from there. Ray. It's pure Shadow, but you can make an effort to have one pure Shadow damage. Like I said in the past, 3 characters in elemental squads are usually more than enough. No glasses and a beard. Is this evil Cher? It's maybe the real Cher. I am on a new studio here in my house. I started to gather stuff on a dorm that was not being used. And I am placing the monitors a little closer to my eyes. And from this distance, I don't need glasses. It's better because I don't get so dizzy. Okay, and that's it. So back on the discussion of the character itself. Dolores is a damage dealer that starts slow, but the more she applies the defense downs, the more it will matter. And she needs partners in crime. Dolores by herself is not really game-changing or anything. She needs to be used with the right squads. Mostly Shadow, but also Slash. But in the right setups, enemies are going to melt pretty easily. And if you got 2 units, it's already a good partner. You don't even need a third one, but if you add third, fourth, and so on, you're gonna get lore of this character. The best thing is that her passive number 2 has no limit. So if you bring Saruin, that was not being so useful recently, Saruin already decreases damage taken for everyone. And when Saruin attacks, now Saruin will be applying defense boosts. And he can even attack 3 times. Imagine, 3 defense boosts. And he has a fast skill, so is much better now. Death as well. Barthélemy also has Shadow, right? So Dolores is not a 5 out of 5 in my opinion, because she still needs dedicated partners. I don't know. You guys will have to say if you will think she deserves a 5 out of 5, but she is the closest thing to meta as we can get, because slash damage is very common and she helps slash squads. But also Shadow, they are not so common. Not many bosses are weak to Shadow, but even if you just bring slash, you're gonna get some part of this. Joe and Bert has Shadow. Yes, yeah. Bert has. But Bert does not always attack with slash, doesn't always attack with Shadow. But Joe will also be buffing more stuff. And if you go with Joe for... one of her cycles has Shadow like 4 times, I guess. How about buff break works? Exactly. We have to talk about her skills. Yeah, let's wait a little. I will be talking about that. But let me just check on Joe. I think she will attack 4 times with Shadow, no? If you go for... split plays, and then... you have to go with a heat setup. Then the first one will be Shadow, the second one will be Shadow, the third one will be Shadow. And the fourth one will be Shadow. Yeah, 4 hits with Shadow. So she can apply 4 times all of the effects. Yeah, that's pretty great. She's a 5 of 5 for Remembrance, but 4.5 because she's a specific to Slash and Shadow. Yeah, for Remembrance, she's gonna make the new fight a joke. She already attacks 5 times row based, and she then chases again with 5 times. The frogs are going to melt super fast. Remember, Miriam got Slash Shadow in Global. Oh, did she? Yeah, Slash Shadow is not that Heat Shadow? Irian. Are you sure, Miriam? I think you got confused, WP. Ah, okay, so skill number 1 is a buff break. That is if you really need to buff break enemies. It doesn't really affect her performance as much as you think, but you get less defense downs, of course. She really wants to keep attacking with Slash and Shadow, but it's 6 hits instead of 10. But if you really need to buff break the enemy, you can use this instead of having to bring a proper buff breaker. Maybe he meant Beauty. Axe Lady from SaGa Frontier 2. SaGa Frontier 2? Axe Lady? Mafia. The Slash and Shadow, yeah, Beauty. Beauty always changes at least once, but even twice. Primera? Primera. Is Primera Slash and Shadow? Slash and Shadow Solid Axe only. Changes just Slash. No, I don't think this character matters even on this like list. But Shadow Squad may finally be good. After Cold dominated and then Lightning gotta pass it up, we can now build plant-based squads and now Shadow again. Because we skipped Saruin. Didn't skip the last one. I only skipped the last one. Has the Darius first style S3. Yeah, but that's not enough. But also welcome, does he? So, okay, that's Dolores. Between a 4.5 and a 5, because this is a character that will really improve damage, but also gives defense boost and even BP generation. This is Slash attack and Shadow attack generation is from her passive, but does it work for everyone? It has to, right? I just want to be sure about that. Dolores. BP. Grants all surviving allies BP. Yeah. So there's a lot of effects on this character. She doesn't heal though. It's the only thing that she doesn't do. The next character will be Lita, and this is really just A2 is this one that allows you to buff status and give attack and defense boosts. Lita is a character that was designed to help you with with Frog, because she attacks with Row as well, and multiple times even. Lita doesn't have meaningful stuff besides healing plus evasion. In JP, she recharged the heal plus evasion every 5 turns. Now it's 3 on global. So remember Empress, Heal, and also Maria. She has the best version of those. She already starts with 2 usages and gives 2 BP and evasion. It's AoE, so that's cool, but it costs 9. She got a new damage potential by 30%. Then no, sorry, it's not damage potential. She decreased damage taken by 40. It's an extra one. And then a 30. 40 and 30. And then 40 again on resisting. Whoa. 3 damage reduction layers. Also, when she recovers, she will give you a defense boost for 2 turns, buff, and give attack boost. So she wants to be healing a lot. Although it's funny because there's no healing effects on Emerald Beyond. This part here, the damage taken decreases, is for everyone. Damage taken decreases for everyone. All allies. So, good. Turn begins, buff all status for everyone by 20% and gives 2 BP. That's Neon type of support, that at least this part. And when using S3, she grants herself the passive number 2 one time for 10 turns. Ah, okay, I get it. I didn't saw that when I was checking JP. Maybe the translation was bad. So when you use skill 3, this skill 3 already gives defense down and defense boost so that you can resist better. She will then be charging the passive number 2 so that when she finally recovers, she'll give even more defense boosts and buffs. It's an interesting way to make a character heal in this game, because we just don't want to heal, just heal. We want extra effects. Characters now have chase attacks, multiple buffs and stuff, so there's that. I do believe that she works, she has stuff, it's just that, I don't know, she doesn't have a real chase attack. As you can see, it's just use skill tree to get that defense down, the defense boost. She'll be buffing on status, and we can keep our buffs on the frogs fight, and she will allow her to survive. But beyond this point, I don't see people using her because we have Tsuna that also gives lots of defenses, but he also heals and gives VP. She will heal, but when she heals, she's not using S3, so it's kind of like a compromise. Anyway, she is pretty sturdy, won't easily die. I believe she's a 4 out of 5. Not really necessary, skippable, and that's it. But tell me if you agree with this or not. It's the reason I don't want to pull on that banner. She looks stinky. You think so? She's just generic in my opinion. Or maybe a 3.5, I don't know. Would banner Cossacks? Ah no, I am not an X hater like people say. She got buffs to endurance and will though. See that they are in pretty safe values now. It's strange because we don't have many characters with low endurance or will now, so there's no compromise. Everyone just has similar status. Kinda don't know much about this. But Warrior is the hardest one to use, but he can rival, not rival anymore, but he is a replacement for those without Misty, or those that didn't pull Farming Trail. We need more sustain for staff remembrance. Yeah, she is the sustain that you were missing on staff remembrance. She's the fix that you needed. Sometimes you needed to bring 2 defensive boosters, now you just bring Lita and she already even improves damage for everyone. But I don't think she's so important for any other type of fight. Why would you bring her if you can bring many other characters? Menu Joe, Dolores, Johan, Lolo, and Tsuna are a crazy team. It is Long Huang. Welcome, my friend. Now about the Warrior, he got the best buffs from status, now 105 endurance will, and he got a buff to agility. It's nice because he's a debuffer, and dexterity was increased too, but nothing here is really crazy. Most of his debuffs are just guaranteed, if I'm not mistaken. Everything is a guarantee, no? Everything is a guarantee. I don't know why he has intelligence though. Why does he have intelligence? Okay, so this guy has now a new damage improvement passive, increasing by 20%. He decreases damage taken at all times by 30. Every time that he attacks, he chases with random shot 2 times. Random shot plus, if I'm not mistaken, it's a B power attack, but I need to check this out. Let's go check this guy. It's an AoE attack though. He chases twice every time. Random bullet. It's C power. Yeah, C power. Just that, nothing else. It's an old skill though. But then he also has a 50% chance to chase with skill tree. Skill tree is a double S power attack, fast if used as a command. And if the enemy had the endurance debuffed, he would then get a blunt attack boost. Very large blunt attack boost is pretty big. It's not what you think. It's not just 30. I think it's 55. Let me check this out here. Where is it? It's on the first passive, but I cannot see that in the JP version. Okay, that's skill tree. Okay, forgot. The attack boost is 50 to 55 as command, 55, then 50 as a chase. And then you're gonna get yourself a defense boost so that he becomes better defensively. But the thing is, his damage will keep scaling even though he has an AoE chase. But don't treat him as a nuker because he's not one. On old G attack, he then grants the Cheerful Rhyme. This is the most interesting thing about this character. Cheerful Rhyme, when attack lands, you're gonna get this all status debuff by 15%. Is it 15%? I have to check GP again, but it should be. It doesn't say, but it should be. So you can trigger this 3 times. That's to all allied survivors. And this will debuff all status, so he is an all status debuffer. Good thing is that he can get into overdrive much better now, because in global he gets 45 points of OG by the end of turn. If he's not on OG in a turn he attacks, he's going to get into OG. I don't know if he's going to get into OG. If you already use it in that turn on overdrive, you're probably gonna need some support. But depending, it's still super easy to get into overdrive. But then, look, most of the other characters like Poe and even J-Mew had only 2 times on their passives. He gives 3 times, and that's just from this part alone, from this skill. Then on turn begins, he has a lot of other things like 5 EP, and then Brilliant Flow. When an attack lands, he's going to debuff SGR, Dexterity, and Agility. This is casted to all allies. It's super crazy. You have 50% chance to apply those effects, and all of these effects can debuff. So it's not a guarantee. The guarantee one comes from the overdrive attack. So it is hard to keep him on reliable form, but this guy has 3 different types of debuffing. One is full cheerful rhyme, as you can see. This one is just 37% chance. This will debuff everything. The other 2 ones are to debuff Endurance, Intelligence, and Will, or SGR, Dexterity, and Agility. So, see how confusing it can become. And on odd turns, he gets a guarantee of debuffing with Brilliant Flow. On even turns, he gets a guarantee to debuff with the other one. So, let me try to simplify. On odd turns, you have a guarantee to always debuff SGR, Dexterity, and Agility, but you have a 50% chance to get another passive that will do the same, and you have 50% chance to get another passive that will debuff Endurance, Intelligence, and Will, and you have a 37% chance to debuff all different status. Besides the overdrive mechanic, where he will allow everyone to debuff. On an even turn, you'll be debuffing then in Endurance, Intelligence, and Will. You still have a 50% chance to debuff SGR, Dexterity, and Agility. You then have a 37% chance to debuff all status. In every 3 turns, he also gets a guarantee to debuff all status. That would be a good case to kind of sometimes try to get him to overdrive into the right turns. Like on turn 3, you don't need to overdrive with him, because he already has the extra effect that guarantees. It's a lot of randomness, it's kind of complicated, but generally speaking, if you know how to use him, enemies will do 0 damage. Because you're gonna debuff way too much. But you need fast attackers that will benefit from this. But he himself is a fast attacker. He has even skill number 1 that is free. That's the skill from Leon. So use S3, if you don't have EP, use S1. And keep going with this, and you will probably debuff the enemy way too much. Last, the enemy has a type of Defy weakness in between attacks, or self-buff too much, or stuff like that. He is a replacement for those that didn't get J-Mew. His mechanic is kind of similar, but not exactly the same. He's also a replacement for those that didn't got Minstrel. He doesn't have buff break though. And also replaces, somehow, Misty. But Misty still has her own mechanic that she debuffs the enemy when an enemy attacks you. But it's not to say that one of them will work in any type of situation. Well, because he's blunt attacker, you can even use him together with Minstrel and just laugh on the enemy. So, it's gonna be crazy. But totally necessary and overkill. And that's it. That's how this character works. He's not about damage, but his damage can actually scale a little. He will debuff the enemy way too much for both offense and defense. And it's not just him. I don't know if you guys noted, but when he uses this effect, it's for everyone to debuff. That's why I said fast. So you will go and debuff the enemy. All your other fast attackers will go right after and try to keep debuffing the enemy. And it's way too much. Mist is so good. It's actually nuts. She is because she also improves your damage. He does not improve your damage by too much. You will improve by debuffing the enemies' endurance and will, but not by much. So that's the difference. Even Real Queen can improve your damage via multiple defense downs. Oh, look who is here! Poroquinho! He just came. Right, Poroquinho? You are now a good cat, right? It's a cat bitter. You just jump it. So it's a pretty crazy character that relies on RNG, but his RNG reliance is still easy to manage. It's hard to explain better off just using the guy. Sorry, I said that he doesn't have a buff break, right? Why did I say that? He has a skill 2 that buff breaks. Dolores already has buff break, and he also has buff break. But he has to give up on using skill 2. Skill 3. Then this is not a fast skill. But yeah, this makes him even closer to those Minstrel buffs to global. And really necessary to bring both together. Minstrel will improve your damage higher, but this guy debuffs as much as Minstrel. Minstrel is club user, he's gun user. Just think about that. One is direct, the other one is indirect. This guy deserves a 4.5. He's really crazy. I don't know, maybe in the past he would beat a 5. But it's hard. Those characters are some of the best ones from the SaGa Beyond banners. He's probably the third best one. Moving on, then we have... let's see. Warrior was already discussed. Lita and Dolores. Lita is the less interesting one here. So if you are going for this banner, it's better to just get Dolores. But if you can get Warrior, it's nice. Especially if you skip it some of the debuffers I mentioned it. This banner will receive a gold minus award. Because it is gold. Yes, Dolores is good and Warrior is good. Lita is just generic, but still not bad. So I do believe that it's worth. The problem is that Lolo banner exists. And Lolo banner existing, it's complicated because, like I said, he's the best companion to Tsuna and will keep being. Many challenges you can do with those two characters, and think about the other ones. Well, Lolo got buffed in global for higher endurance. A cat that has 120% endurance will higher than some tanks. And 116% SGR, now for a little more damage. But look, you're going to have max BP increased by 5, so your characters will start with 25 BP max. But they will also recover 3 BP. Well, you can use probably any type of skill on start. And on the end of the 4th turn, you will then increase the max BP by another 5. And give 5 BP to everyone. Then on turn 7, you will increase the max BP by another 5 and give 7 BP to everyone. See? He's just increasing your BP and also generating BP for everyone. Okay, he is a BP battery, but more about that in a few. He has a 40% damage reduction to himself. And what else? What should we be discussing first? He has his passive that is pretty generic. 5 BP. And actually 7 because he also has extra BP by turn ends. 15% attack boost every turn and 5 hit ups of 10%. Okay, so 65% damage improvement for everyone on turn 5 onwards. But the thing that matters is this chains that he gets. It's not chains, it's a passive. Familiar Blessing for all allies. He gives 5 stacks of this. When being attacked, you're gonna get an attack boost and a defense boost to self. So, the attack boost is extreme. That should be 30%. And the defense boost, it's 20%. So, it's 5 stacks of this. It is way too much. Lolo is just a worse human for me. Oh yeah, really. Offense and defense just from this type of passive. And let me just check here. How does that really work? Because 5 stacks is really, really crazy. That's why he is so good. But not just because of this. There are more into this character. Let me get into Lolo. 5 to our allies. Yeah. That's pretty crazy already. It's pretty crazy. But just remember the defense boost lasts for 2 turns. That's why it stacks to some very high values. The same for the attack boost. The attack boost always has to be 2 turns because sometimes the enemy attacks before you anyway. Also, when he attacks, he always chases with skill 1 and then skill 2. He also has a 25% chance to recover the usage of skill 3. This is something that you can use twice. It's fast. Will also grant Familiar Blessing, as you can see here. This we got 5 on the start of battle, right? 5 stacks of it. And then we will use this fast for 2 times and grant it again. But it's just for 1 time, 1 turn. And he will decrease PP cost and attack boost and defense boost. Why is Lolo so good? You're gonna have very low damage on turn 1. Future content will have insane damage on turn 1 because of how they are trying to counter our mechanics. They are giving attack boosts to our bosses. They are going as far as to give them 3 attack boosts on the start of each turn. That's to negate the amount of defense boosts we have. So you have a very good and high start with Lolo, already with the 5 Familiar Blessings. He has a chance to recover the usage of the skill number 3, but when you use it, you're going to cast another Familiar Blessing, right? Nice. Decrease BP cost, or BP generation. Give attack boost, defense boost. Nice. But when he chases, he gives another 2 stacks of a Familiar's Blessing. So, usually, you are going to have at least 2 Familiar Blessings. So 2 defense boosts of medium effect, but even higher depending on your luck. And you also be generating a lot of BP. The attack itself already gives you defense boosts and attack boosts. So you can get to a point where you have 4 medium defense boosts and 2 or 1 small defense boost, depending on what you want to do. When you don't have skill number 3, you're going to choose between skill 1 or 2. If you want extra defense, skill 2. If you want extra offense, skill 1. 1 recovers and gives defense boost. The other gives BP and attack boost. Usually you'll be using the defense boost part because that one is better. He already generates enough BP and decreases BP cost. So the first one is only for you to speed up damage when using some fights. So the secret of Lolo is to keep your squad alive, but on the start of the fight, he gives way too much resistance and then keeps that cycling of giving you extra BP, giving you more attack and defense boosts, but especially defense boosts. He gives way more defense boosts than even Tsuna, but Tsuna heals better, much better. He can heal you up to twice per turn as well if you decide to do so, because, for example, you use it skill 3 and you cannot use it again. You're gonna have to use skill 2. That would then use this attack, that will recover, defense boost, and then you will chase again with this skill. You always chase with skill 1 and skill 2. So this character is just crazy. Really, really crazy. He won't do much damage. His attacks are 8 power, S power, but he will give you attack, defense boost, BP generation, max BP increase, all of it. So really, really broken. And I do believe I can even say that he's a 5.5 out of 5 because he goes beyond the meta. It's way too much. Add him and Tsuna together, I'm gonna play with those 2 characters for a long, long while. I do believe that he's better than Dolores overall because I cannot see how easily he can get power creeped since, well, we were in need of MR's units. We didn't got that many good ones. And everything that he can give you will be useful in many fights. Look that he doesn't even give you status buff. He doesn't. Because in some fights you don't actually use your status buff because enemies will buff break you. Everything that he gives to you cannot be broken by the enemy. If an enemy decreases your BP cost, your max BP, or increase your BP cost, he also fixes this. He fixes most problems with super bosses. 5 out of 5.5. You can say he's 2 units in 1. I can say that he is, yeah. Was already stamping us on turn 1, even on gear selection screen, to be honest. Yeah, the cat is the best damage reduction on turn 1 you can get. Shadow Squad is not OP already, but needs buffs. Marvin says I'm going for water and Dolores. You're gonna skip the cat? Well, I do believe that, I don't know, if we are considering that we can reach 5.5, and then Warrior and Dolores are 5s, with Lita being a 4. And I already said Lolo is a 5.5 as well. Scarecrow is now much better if you decide to just go this route, because you pull it for Minstrel. Okay, I pull it for Minstrel, so I don't need to get Warrior. It's better because Scarecrow is gonna make Minstrel squads better. Why? Because he gives different stuff than Warrior. For example, he will improve blunt attack, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and he will give a lot of effects when you are using blunt attacks. He decreases damage taken for everyone by 30%. This was changed, it was just 25, now it's 30. And then he will cast this Frenzy Brand. That it is somehow a way to improve your damage. When the enemies get hit with blunt, then you get a blunt attack boost and an attack boost. Blunts and you hold for unused dumpster. You think so? So it is kind of like Crazy Law from Rock Bouquet. You apply on the enemy, and the more you attack the enemy, the more you get. Then on turn begins, he also gives something to the party. That is, when the party uses blunt attacks, they will get 2 BP, they will then be applying defense boost, and endurance will buff, and that's it. So 3 effects when using blunt attacks. BP, defense boost, endurance will buffs. It only triggers once though, so there's a limit. And the defense boost just for 1 turn. Much like for a news version of it as well, so pretty okay. And now he gets 45 points of OG God instead of 25 from JP. That is nice because he also chases on Overdrive. This character can be used for Remembrance and was probably designed for this, although like I said, you can use him in Minstrel. Because he has 2 different skills that he will be using. He always chases with skill 1. That is to hit E-Power attack. That's nice because it's 2 hits. If you are applying the extra effects, you actually trigger it per hit, not per attack. And then you have skill 2, that is a single target blunt attack or AoE B-Power attack. And it will give the Frenzy Brand again to the enemy. As you can see, the single target version it's 10 times and the AoE version is 5 times. So that when you land more blunt attacks, you're gonna do more damage and more damage. Then he has this critical to bird and flying, like I care. Attack damage increases by 30, resisting damage taken decreases by 40, and he then has a 37% chance to evade. So pretty much intrinsic with extra effects. This guy is made for Remembrance, but can also be used on blunt squads. If you already have, for example, the entire Minstrel and Scarecrow, you can also add Erpina. Erpina is nice because she will help trigger effects from Scarecrow, and Scarecrow has random attacks. At least this one is random, so you will trigger the additional effects. I also forgot to say that when you use Overdrive, you will chase with this, so actually you will then have double the effects of this. So for example, it's a single target fight. You're going to apply 20 times that Frenzy Brand. So 1 hit will then give 15% attack boost for everyone. And blunt attack boost, that in this case, if I'm not mistaken, is... Let me check here because I don't know the number. Its numbers are always different anyway. Wait, did they change this in Lobo? Because here he only says attack boost to large. He doesn't say the extra effect. Did they change it? Do anyone knows? Because we have two descriptions here. Gourmand will also make Minstrel squads better. Gourmand also, because he's a blunt damage dealer. Anyone knows about this? Because it's saying that you're going to improve both a general attack boost, but also a specific blunt attack boost. I don't know. I am confused. I am confusion. JP only says he will trigger a generic attack boost, not a blunt attack boost. Maybe he was buffed, but Hans didn't. I Knight. Is literally a wood. He is the first really character. Doesn't it mean that it gives that debuff to the enemies, and when you hit them with that, you get the generic attack boost? No, look, it already says Frenzy Brand. You apply it to the enemy, and then when you use a blunt attack, you are going to grant attack boost 15% to all enemies. The enemies of my enemy, myself, in this game. And then it says here also, blunt attack boost 5 times 2 turns to all enemies. See that it says 2 enemies, or maybe it's just a description, right? That says the Frenzy Brand has this description, and then blunt attack boost and has 5 triggers for 2 turns. Yeah, maybe it is. Sorry, it's confusing. It is confusing. So the Frenzy Brand effect will be activated for 5 times 2 turns. It's complicated because it's this part here. It's related to Frenzy Brand. But then on Frenzy Brand, when you land a blunt attack, you get a 15% attack boost. Okay, it makes more sense now. And like I said, you can either go for AoE or go for single target. Single target's 10 stacks and AoE is 5 stacks. If you are on overdrive, then you get 20 stacks for single target. This character itself will always trigger 3 times, so 45%. It's similar to Jiva in this way when attacking, granting attack boosts, but it also allows everyone else to do that. So your other blunt attackers will be giving more attack boosts to everyone. Theoretically, if you trigger it all, it's 15% multiplied by 20. So you can get 300% damage increase in 1 turn. On the next turn, it all depends on the order of your attackers and all. So there's that. Probably like Miriam. Not really. Little different. So this character here is easy to use on Remembrance because all gun units use blunt, besides very specific ones. Wait, someone is ringing my bell. I'm back. So, as a final note, this is yet another blunt specialist. We are getting more blunt specialists. The future is making elemental squads to take benefit of all the extra effects that they can give you. This guy will be allowing you to do more damage, allowing you to buff, allowing you to get more BP, but you have to use a full blunt squad. And Urpina does not need extra BP. She already buffs. But depending on the squad, it can actually help. Blunt meta. Yeah. Pink punch value increases with this good blunt meal and no styles lately. The thing with pink punch ashes is just that, look at Lolo. Lolo does everything that pink punch could ever dream of doing without being pink punch. I mean, works for all gender. If you wanna use pink punch now, yeah, you can use with Lolo and also with the same Scarecrow, okay, but also even Minstrel if you want. But I don't think there is too much reasons to use pink punch generally when moving forward, just because they are adding characters that have similar effects without having to care about the enemy the character's gender or anything. Then let's talk about Gurumon. Guys, I feel like Scarecrow is just a 4. Because it's hard to make usage of his setup, and his effects are totally related to Elemental. What do you think? It's still not bad, and a little behind Water. Water is better. But like I said, if you have Minstrel, he kind of clashes with Water. So you get more from Scarecrow. If you didn't pull for Minstrel, then Water is better for you. Strange, but it is. And the last one here will be Gurumon. Gurumon is an MRs as well, so you got 2 MRs from this banner. If you are missing out on MRs, I am. My MRs squad needs to be updated. They buffed the endurance and wheel of Gurumon and a little bit, no, 20% agility. That's pretty nice. But they didn't change anything about him. He's another specialist, kind of hard to use. A new type as well. Battle begins, he will feel Overdrive Gorge for everyone, and then we'll grant this Healing Nuts. And Exciting Nuts. I even have to highlight this because, my gosh. If you are using MRs, you're going to recover your HP by very small. That will be a 400 and 2 EP. And if you are also equipping MRs, you're going to recover HP. Again, I don't know why they separated this. And also OG Gorge by 25 points. This is an AoE heal though. What means is that if you bring Gurumon to Remembrance, Gurumon will make your characters recover so much that it will pop up many times. You get 2 healings to yourself and then distribute other healings. And then imagine if you have a full MRs squad, that will be 6 healings. Just that, 6 healings. Is a quick button to fix a Remembrance for you. Much like Brownie was fixing for spears, Rose was fixing for guns, although Rose lost a little bit of her value because of Professor. Tyler fixes for X, but Gurumon fixes for MRs. Okay, this part here is interesting because it's 25 points of OG Gorge. Now, turn begins, grants weapon enhance and over enhance to our allies. I need to check this because over enhance, I don't know what it is. Probably related to overdrive, right? Um... 20% damage increase. No, extra large. 30%. 30% damage increase for MRs. Over enhance. Over enhance is the overdrive boost. Forgot about that. And it's 50%. How many times does it trigger this? 5 times. So, okay. 20% 5 times. So he will improve MR's damage by 100% total. and will give 150% overdrive damage increase. He will love to be used with Dentark. By turn ends, he gets 5 EP total, and will also get another 25 points of OG Gorge. Use Piper saying, what AoE healing are you referring to? Well, that's what says here, exciting nuts. If you are equipped with Marts, you recover HP. Ah, no, sorry, my bad. Forget what I said. To all allies is that this will be applied to all allies, but you will... the recovery self on HP, and then again on HP. Why don't they create a new value to say that you have 2 very small recovers? So it's just 2 healing. Sorry, it's not 6. My bad. But he can recover more HP as well. Now, let's move on here. All allies, if they are using MRs again, you're gonna get 40% damage increase and reduce damage taken by 30. So another way to decrease damage taken from the MRs. He then decreases to himself by 40, and by the end of a turn recovers HP by 1,500. The strangest thing about this guy is that he deals pierce damage and not blunt. You can do blunt if you do normal attack. 2 healing is 2 nuts. He can give you more of these effects. It has 2 versions. One will still recover HP again, so you will have 3 recovers per turn. And then grants secret MRs when equipped with MRs. Attack damage increase by 30% to all... No, it's 20% when it's AoE. 20% to all allies. To all other allies. Ah, okay. Oh my gosh, it's so complicated these days. He will give this effect to all other allies after attacking. Before attacking, but his attack is not fast. That's why his agility was buffed. So he will still rely on his own agility. So everyone that uses MRs right after him will be applying 20% attack boosts. And they will also be applying damage taken decreases. And OG attacks will be healing. Oh my god, it's so complicated. You can increase the utility of either healing nuts or exciting nuts. So that other characters will be applying those things. Either healing and giving BP, or then healing and giving OG. You have to choose. That's the difference. The defensive part is the same. Damage taken decreases to all ally. OG. The OG attack is different. That will grant healing nuts. The funny part is that this lasts for 2 turns, so you can actually use it again and stack. Oh man, he's really an easy button to make MR's squads easier. But complicated to use. Oh my god. Chaos Piper, can you explain him a little as well? So overall, he's an MR specialist. That means that he works super well for Remembrance. But if you can also use him on other squads with MRs, he will then improve the damage for overdrive for everyone. He is also giving OG points already. He can give even more so that other allies will be giving via use of skill number 2 or 3. He will be healing everyone at least 3 times per turn if they are MRs based and all. Will decrease damage taken with 2 different layers, but really requires a MRs based squad. Me? Yeah, you know those characters. So he's like Maha. Similar to Maha, yeah, but doesn't improve damage like Maha. Maha gives more damage than Gourmand does, but Gourmand also gives a lot of damage anyway. You get the over enhanced part that gives 150% overdrive damage, And then some attack boosts, although they are not that high. But that's it. You just have to choose between a skill that will give you more BP or more OG points. Depends on your squad anyway. I believe that you will probably be using the OG one because you are already improving the OG damage via overenhance and reaching OG faster. You're gonna reach OG super fast by use of Gourmand. It's better for your party. But then again, he requires a full MR squad. We don't have a good BP battery for MRs, do we? BP battery for MRs. Dentar, but indirectly, because he gives 4 BP for everyone that uses blunt attacks. Most MRs are blunt attackers, so there's that. Genryu as well. Kenji, WP says. So I get even a little dizzy with describing these units, man. They are super complicated. And the way that they are described are like coding. It's not really made to explain easily to people. Kenji floods you with BP. Yeah, and also defense boost. I do believe that Gourmand totally replaces Kenji on Remembrance, but Kenji can use it everywhere. Gourmand is a specialist. But you can still use them together, they don't clash. That is good, and he can give OG instead. Yeah, I believe that it's better to always give OG points, so you're gonna have to use the exciting nuts instead of the healing nuts. Exciting nuts. This one. Skill tree. It's strange that he does pierce damage, I don't understand why. The way Hans has to format the description makes it a little more confusing. Yeah, I do believe that he's a coder. Because it makes total sense for people that are coders. I learned a little in my life, but I was more of a planner than a real coder. But that's what we get. So now let's discuss it all, guys. Please tell me your opinions. I believe that he's more like another one of those specialists for Remembrance, hard to grade. Like a 2.5 for normal grading, but a 5 out of 5 for Remembrance. If you like to get those Joker cards that will make your fight super easy, get him. But he's not made for general content. It's not easy to make a 5 character squad with MRs. Although, look, we could bring Gourmand, Creator, and Lolo. That's a good start. I don't know about the other ones, I'll have to think about. But even then, I don't think that's recommended. It kind of restricts you a little. Shay, yeah. So Lolo banner has that. I feel like Lolo is the best character here. No questions asked. But then we have a Scarecrow that is a specialist. Although blunt is super easy to find, he still needs blunt damage dealers that have multi-hit attacks, usually. But it's not that hard to trigger 10 times, because if your character has a chase and you have 5 characters, they already trigger 10 times. So that's not really that bad. He is useful because he's gun. We are still lacking some gun support. But I don't think he's better than Warrior. Warrior is a better character. So let's say Lolo beats Dolores, but Warrior beats Scarecrow. And Gourmand and Lita have similar rates. So it's not easy to say which banner is better. I would say that Lolo banner is better because his relevance is bigger. But both banners have very similar value overall. Like the other weapon specialists, I think MRs can actually make good teams outside Ren. MRs is the second or third most common weapon. Although we are lacking newer MRs styles. But here we already got Lolo as well, so that really helps. I'll just put both into multis. Please give me that luck, Apple Gun. Please. Looking from a perspective, if you skip it, Formina. If you decide to skip Formina banner, which banner is the best one here? I think Lolo. No, wait. Everyone pulled for Tsuna, right? You pull it for Tsuna. It'll be more of a question if you pull it Minstrel as well. If you pull it Minstrel, I would say always go for Lolo. If you have Minstrel, always go for Lolo. Always. Lolo is also blunt attacker. He's going to work. No, he's a slash attacker, sorry. Haha, yeah, he's a Marks with slash. He has claws, right? He's a slash attacker. He doesn't work with Minstrel. Marks with slash and another Marks with pierce. Cats are scratching, yeah, they are. Any 5 of 5. We have Lolo, that's a 5.5 out of 5. Dot maid girl is a cooler than a calf though. Depends what you think about cool persons. Lolo works with Dolores. Yeah, it works with part of Dolores, yeah, with the slash part of her. The slash is the offensive part though. Slash attack, BP. Shadow attack, BP. No, wait. Slash attack, attack boost, and offensive status. Shadow attack defense part. Yeah, he works with offensive part, but Lolo is already very good for defenses anyway. But kind of a resume here. Dolores banner. We have slash and shadow damage specialist that improves slash and shadow damage while offering buffs and defensive and attack boosts. Lita is a generalist that will heal and also decrease damage taken by a lot, but it is not better than Suna, not better than Amiya, and not better than Lolo. But works for Remembrance because we are in lack of extra defensive support. Warrior is a debuffer that relies on a lot of RNG and needs every other character to attack right after him, but his debuffs are already okay-ish, but gets much better when he hits the jackpot. That's the banner. It's probably a gold banner, or gold minus, but it's not lower than gold, I am sure. Then we have Lolo. Lolo is multi-purpose attack and defense booster, BP, and healer generalist. You have almost everything that you need here. The only thing that you don't get with Lolo is overdrive. I mean, not really the only thing, but he also does not buff status. You don't get OG, and you also don't get OG and status buff. Those two things you don't get. You get to get from other sources. But, well, you know, always need those things anyway. The Scarecrow is Blunt Specialist. Blunt squads are getting better and better. It works better if you skip it, if you summon for Minstrel. Ruman is an easy button for remembrance in an A-Marts. I guess that kind of resumes the banners. I don't know, I think we have to give both banners gold. Rita is good for fights when you have to revive. People like her for the Umbrella guy. Because you revive and give one evasion. But what else? Because you can actually build up on more passives, right? The recovery action. Yeah. Makes sense. You can stack a lot of her passive number 2 via usage of skill tree. And then when you revive someone, that revived person will get multiple defense boost. Makes sense. Multiple endurance with buffs. Since this is interesting, she will be another character that can really revive in this game, because most characters cannot revive. Since you lose all your buffs, you're gonna be dead. Give a ton of defense boost. And yeah, exactly what you said. I went back and checked it. Where's my good dog character? Dog, it's the next one. You mean Byaku? It's a wolf. There's Resin as well, but you have to wait. Only the cat matters. Who cares about dogs? Yeah. So what do you guys think? It's hard to grade those banners because they are still the best ones from Emerald Beyond. After those banners, the other ones are not as great. At least you can know. But it was mean of them to fuse those banners together. I mean, release them on the same week. Because on JP, we had 1 week of distance between them. Last time to build on gens, especially since we just got pretty amazing banners with Minstrel and then Protags. Romance and SaGa 3 banners have good stuff as well, so it will be hard. At least from my own perspective, only Sarah matters from Sarah banner, so people may skip her, but they will suffer from both remembrance. And they can go for just Katarina banner and Ellen's banner. But it's still pretty hard to go, man. We have... Look, we can skip the X10 and Byaku banner, but then it's Romancing SaGa 3. Although we will have Conquest, this will give a lot of gens. After that, it's Protag banner again. And then the other side of the Romancing Saga 3 banners. It's hard, man. It's really hard. Good banner after good banner. And then after that, it's summer. I don't know what people will be doing. I haven't seen any moment in the game where we had super good banners one after another. You must save for protects. She's not broken, but she has an Isha still. Yeah, for reviving. This is painful. After next week, we will get the Romancing Saga 2 banners and then Shurei and Kihachi banner. You must pull for protects. I like to have the protects in the game as well. I feel like some people will probably skip the Minstrels banners. And maybe skip that Muse banner as well, because you just don't have gems, guys. If you don't save, this is a good moment to save. Right after the onslaught of so many good banners, some may simply skip the Muse banner, Lobster banner, and not everyone needs to pull for Beauty, but Beauty and for News is nice. I don't know about the other two. But if you look at this, if you decide to keep all of them, it's 6th of June up to 26th of June. It's time to save gens if you decide to skip. You got all other Beauty. Can't skip this moment. You won't be skipping. What the F is that Beauty? Let me rest, please. More Beauties, my friend. More Beauties. A Beauty that is slash elemental leader. Yeah, and she also works well with Dolores as well. It's hard, man, because we are getting two different banners with two very metal units, Dolores and Lolo. In order of best units here, I would say Lolo, Dolores, Warrior, then Scarecrow, then Lita, and lastly Gourmand. It's more because Gourmand is still more regarded for members anyway. There's no many proofs for news. And I don't have space for gems for all of those characters. Someone said Arrakis is one of the best ones on the 5 out of 5. I heard that, but I actually never checked what he does. I need to check this out. Beat up, soul inspiration. Power of turn grants endless fighting spirit. Buffs, attack boosts, recovers HP. All friendly survivors attack and defense boosts and status buffs. To all allied survivors, every turn they will self buff when being attacked. Pretty crazy stuff indeed. It's like giving Joe passive multiplied and then distributed for everyone. Whoa. Similar to Cordelia, but different. Better than Cordelia mostly. Really great skill. Oh, crazy stuff. Yeah, from Fornews better, but Fornews better is a good one. Hard to skip because of Fornews building in Arrakis as well. Is Anus good? I don't know about Anus. Attack boost, attack boost. Fiery. Minimal. No, 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 no. No. Oh. No. He's the worst. Easy mode for the frogs. Easy mode. And he's a spear unit that will give you all the remaining power that you need. But he may only drop by the end of the next month. If we look in the timeline, look, Arrakis is here. End of June. We are on the start of May. We are still in May, right? That's why they're speeding up banners, because we are 4 months behind, JP. They want us to stay 3 months behind. He's gotten here any 5 out of 5. Lolo is a 5.5 out of 5. Dolores is a 5 out of 5. Oops. And I'm not so sure. Maybe Warrior is a 5. And then all the other ones are not important. How about Volcano? I don't know what Volcano does. I didn't check what he does. But I guess this is too late to discuss Volcano. Now, what do you guys think about these characters? Do you agree with what I'm saying? I will be making the preview. Please say if you agree or if you don't. See if I missed anything, because these crew descriptions are totally complex sometimes. Wait, what Dolores do, please? Slash and shadow damage, improves slash and shadow damage to the party, and gives buffs to everyone that uses those types of attack, and decreases the enemy resistance to those two elements too. Lolo is a multi support for BP, defense boosts, healing. And Scarecrow is a blunt specialist that makes blunt squads buff a lot of things and decrease the enemy resistance. Not decrease the enemy, actually improve your own attack. And your other buffs, BP generation. Water is a very nice debuffer. Rivals Puny. Puny, no. Rivals Misty. Minstrel. He's better than Poe, he's better than Jamie. Better than Asulus most of the time. He's he's alongside the 4 best debuffers in the game right now. Real Queen for single target. But Real King cannot really get to 0 damage all the time. It's Misty, Minstrel, and Warrior now. Those are the top ones, with Real Queen being for single targets. Lolo might as well be a new DX banner you got to get Lolo. Because not everyone wants a Scarecrow or the other one, because they are very specific specialists, right? Better than Asulus unless you pair her with Dolores. But she does not debuff dexterity. Have to remember that. And it's only SGR and intelligence. It's not debuff agility too. Cat is a 5, Scarecrow a 4, Grumana 3.5, Dolores a 4.5, Water 4.5, and Rita 4. So if we stop on 5, Cat's a 5, and Dolores a 4.5. That's why I was saying that a Cat may be a 5.5, like I said for Tsuna. To have those very special units that break the meta. Then we could keep Dolores at 5 and Water at 5 too. Because I gave 5 to Poe. And Poe is still very good, but he's harder to use than the Warrior. Poe has to attack before the other characters. Warrior doesn't. Well, if he does, he can give even more stuff, but he doesn't need to. It triggers from his passive. It's better than Jamie as well, because Jamie passes on his debuffs. But any of those debuffers can make the enemy do 0 damage. Skip Mia to summon for her cat. Sad. But seems like you kind of agree with me, Applegun. Too late to know, we better start off. No, I mean, it's very far banner. Discussing Volcano now will not be that great. He's a fire leader. I remember that part at least. Paul Banner was cancer. Yeah, and there's that. Pulling for Paul Banner was bad. Now we have a better banner. Also, guys, if anyone wants to support the channel, we're still trying to meet the last month's goal to pay the rent. We survive mostly via community support because we don't get much from YouTube, especially since the viewership is decreasing. The game is a little less famous than it was, but no worries if you cannot help. Click the like button. It's already helping anyway. Watch the videos, leave a comment. You are always helping. And yeah, and chance of certain turns, and he can apply the debuff with skills as well. Yeah, Poe's already good enough because a lot of people use it Poe and made bosses do 0 damage. Same as Misty. Lolo is a 4.5 only, skip. That's what I'm saying. Those units are super crazy. But at this point of the game, every unit is good enough. They are not making bad banners anymore. Remember the old times when we were, for example, here, pulling for those 5 dragons, and 3 of the dragons were not great. Well, people use it this Dragon Knight. I will not say that he's a main game changer. Of course, people use him for the Umbrella guy though. But look, pulling for Gray's banner. Only Hawk mattered here. It's not too long ago. Well, some people use it Barber, but she was useful for 3 weeks. Okay, I can use Anya for it's not Anya, Aisha for the frog fights. But besides that, Jamie Banner had Sif. Now we don't need that anymore. People can still use her, okay? Claudia for fun, for memes. Albert, whatever. Um, Maha Banner, human female, already being replaced. Nat Swiger, totally. Maha, still meta, although a pretty unique character. Ray, I use it for buff break, but now I kind of regret. But I wanted to get human male. The banners that I didn't pull, like Barthélemy banner now. Trash. But I mean, there were not that many banners that were skippable. Valentine's banner was skippable. Whole banner was cancer, people are saying, because you had Armic. It was not really bad, but he's not a debuffer, can make the enemy do 0 damage, mostly. It's complicated. It's not like it was before, we have to make decisions. People use it Barbara like you. I use it for 2 weeks. Albert Banner was more skippable. Yes, that's why I didn't pull. Dragon Knight used him on Umbrella and 7 heroes, so I will not say he's better than people thought. I would say that he's better than people thought. Yeah, but then I feel like he got a direct replacement. Sometimes what I mean is that character doesn't leave enough to guarantee a spot for too long. He gets a direct replacement too soon. I guess that's what I said on his review. I can see he being replaced too fast. That I stand by that point. And look, we'll eventually get to the point where we'll have new protagonists. And right after protagonist, they release it soon again. Slaughter. Razen in a banner. I'll probably skip this banner, skip this other one here. I don't know about the other ones though. It's harsh being a UniverSe fan. Who replaced him though? I think he is pretty unique to revive by his own. I mean, a support for the squad. Bertrand already replaces him, just doesn't work on 7 heroes because of the mechanic with choosing either magical or physical. And now Lolo is going to replace many of the defense boosters specialists. Michelle Banner was also horrible. What was Michelle Banner again? This one, right? Yeah, this was a bad banner. Although he had an axe user, he made an impact instantly, but just won't matter in some months. Well, that's gacha for you all, my friends. That's gacha for you all. Misty Banner was hard to pull for, but was good. Genie, people use a Genie on 7 heroes. Does that mean that she's a really useful character? No, totally not. We'll forget that she exists in a month or so. Rick's still good. Tyler better than Myron. Yeah. But Myron works in all squads, right? He doesn't need to be on access to squads, I guess. Misty Banner had Genie and Rick. I still think that Genie doesn't really matter much. Nothing she brings is just extraordinary. People used her because of the combination of things that they needed. Just being on that jackpot. But what do you guys think? Do both banners get the same award? Do we say gold for both? Or do we say gold plus for Lolo and gold for Dolores? The thing is, the banner companions of Dolores may matter a little more than the banner companions of Lolo, but Lolo is beyond meta. Hard to think about. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Problem is both are thumbs up. What do you do? I was not expecting this. I was not planning for this. I don't know how to survive. Gold for both. Only Lolo is really good on his banner. Yeah. Really, really good, yeah. My gosh. Let's see more feedback. What do you think is Piper? You always say stuff as well. Those fights used him because the bosses barely attack and start. Most bosses are not like that. Yeah, I mean, it's situational. Genie as well. It was very situational. It's not because people are using it that they will be great overall. You summon, yes, I will be summoning starting with Lolo. Reason being that Lolo totally replaces Amiya for me. Totally. And I didn't pull for Amiya because of that. I was thinking about pulling for Lolo. And Lolo and Suda will be staple in most teams. Bring those two together and then everything works. Dolores and Lolo have an amazing future both. Hard to choose. Hard to choose. You have a black cat, you have to get Lolo. Yeah! Retine will be here when we summon for Lolo. But these units are getting more and more complex, man. More and more complex. I don't think they will ever get easier to read. It's something that we cannot come back from. Like, check the new Tsuna. So the new Tsuna has more of inheritance stuff. He's also piercing lightning. Maybe because we were lacking lightning damage. Is this Joe behind him? It's like... Although he's not one of the complex ones. Warrior is a pretty complex one. I think the most complex character from this banner is Gurman. No. Lolo. Gurman. Then Warrior, and then Lolo. In order of complexity. It's one of those banners that you have more time to explain than anything. Gold or Silver Plus? No, not Silver Plus. They are gold ones. You're talking about really meta units here. At least 2 units that are really meta. You have to remember the possibility for them buffing the Stratosphere the next banners like they did with Misty. But JP didn't need those buffs. We have to accept that we need to skip. I mean, if they try to make us pull again next week, we will fall for every single banner that they release. Every single banner. Yes, 2 really meta ones. All the other ones are replaceable and skippable. You decide. If they buff them that much, Mart's, Gun, and G's words really not needed. You are right. Also, if you pull for a Mart because of Lolo, it will be super easy for you to skip this banner here. Look, if you are like me, that have been pulling on Suna banner, and will pull on Lolo banner, you should totally skip PX10 banner. Why? Because you got S's word from Suna, you got a Mart from Lolo and Gurman, and you got Create's word from Jiva. Jiva is probably fixing all remembrances fights from now on. She's just that good. Yeah, you won't need so much premium great sword users because of this. Now, if you want to pull for, I don't know, look, Byaku. You won't need Byaku that much because you got Lolo. Guns, you may still need some help from guns, but if you pull it on Gurman banner, you at least got Scarecrow. But you have to skip both Blah and the pirate guy that I forgot the name. If you go for a different route and you go for Dolores and skip the cat, then the other banners, the next week banner, let me see. BX10 banner makes sense for you. If you want, you can still skip those 2 banners and wait for Romance in Saga 3, like most people will do. We fell for that a lot of times already to start to regret. We fell. Now I noticed, dang, even Gorger here. Yes, Gorger's here. Lolo is that good passive one kind of limit to how long you can go? It's because, look, Lolo just gives you a good start. Lolo gives you 5 stacks of this so that turn 1 damage is really low. Lolo makes it so that bosses won't do that much damage on you on turn 1. And then you will always be granting at least 3 Familiar's Blessing. The command and the 2 chases. So 3 Familiar Blessing will give you 3 attack boosts of Extreme effect. Extreme is actually 50%, I was wrong. Yeah, 150% damage increase. And then the defense boost, it would be 3 medium defense boosts on 2 turns. That's like 20%, 6 multiplied by 6. Tsuna is 10%. He does 6 times 10%. Lolo gives you 6 times 20%. Besides all the BP generation that you get, the extra BP that you get to fight versus boss that increases BP cost, boss that decreases your max BP. Lolo has all types of support you need besides buff break, besides OG, and status buff. Those are the only 3 things that Lolo didn't cover somehow. And debuff, 4 things. You don't debuff with Lolo. Lolo does not need the first passive. The first passive is extra and makes him kind of unique versus fight that increases max. Ah, he was talking about the first passive, not the second. I was thinking he was saying about 5 Familiar's Blessing. There's that. Lolo gives you way too much stuff. If you were thinking that Tsuna is broken, well, Tsuna does have something else. Tsuna has that. Let me go to Tsuna. He has Morale down, right? Some people were saying, oh, Tsuna is broken. Oops, Truna. Tsuna. Tsuna has 6 stacks of defense boost small. That is 10%. Actually, let me check here if it's 20% for the cat or 15%, because it is related to each character or to AoE. Because if it's AoE, no, it's to all allies. So each one will get 20%. But still, it's on each hit, yeah. But even then, it's super easy to take full advantage of this. Tsuna has 10 stacks of 10%, then 30%, and then 25%. Lolo goes a little further if you make all the calculations. And he gives healing, 3 healings, like Tsuna gives 3 healings, but he gives more BP than Tsuna, a little more. Tsuna buffs status though, while Lolo gives much more BP. And Lolo gives attack boosts, much better attack boosts. One thing kind of completes the another. Lolo does much less damage, Tsuna gives more damage himself, but Lolo buffs more others. Well, like I said, using them together would be crazy. Place Tsuna and Lolo and smash the boss. I said I'll never financially recover from this. Did I? I won't. As you have yet to pick Tsuna, so I'm on a limbo for now. Plus, I want Farming still. If you want all these characters, you're gonna suffer. Tsuna Nori goes hard. The blessing is to all allies. The actual defense attack buffs are single target. Yeah, you place the blessing for everyone, but then the defense boost triggers separately. That's why the defense boost is 20 and not 15%. If it was AoE defense boost, it would be 15%. Then those things are so complicated. Who does Lolo replace for you again? Amiya. That I never got. Also, Liz. Usually Leon, but not always Leon, because Leon still has the buffs when she's hit. When he is hit, sorry. But he is the permanent secondary or main defense booster. Hell no, I don't want to pull. You didn't want Arpina. Arpina? But I guess that's it, guys. Let's read the comment section while we are finishing the stream. Hans, you continue to be the best. Yes, let's say thanks to Hans. It's a big effort. Thanks so much. As always. Amazing job. KSB was saying, thank you very much for this. Dolores is here and she rocks. Pretty much a must pick for Axe Remembrance, bolstering offensive and Shadow Squads defensively. Or both, with Sugnes, with Darius. Darius doesn't really attack much lately. Saruin, Soltis, yes, I always forget Soltis I didn't pull for her. Babione, yes. Lita is made to help with Road Blocker and Hana Water. Very gimmicky play styles. S3, S2, and S3. If you miss it out, on Sochi's or the last building. She kinda does a bit of what they do. She's okay, but mostly going to be used for remembrance. I believe, yeah. What is crazy, they basically makes Poe look incredibly dated. I don't think make he look incredibly dated, but he has 3 triggers while Poe has 2. However, these are not guaranteed. It helps that he changes twice with random shot to increase the chance of proccing with one of his abilities. Chance to proc, it's not related to chance to proc, it's related to start of turn, no? I think he didn't got that part. Its turn begins, yeah. But also on OG attack, yeah. The debuffs are also guaranteed. Pair him with Minstrel and just watch the enemies do moot damage. It's overkill. Good units, a nice spread of weapon types. Dolores and Warrior are great, and Lita is decent but replaceable. He didn't say anything about Lolo yet because he posted this before Lolo banner was up. Yeah. Must pull the cat. Haha, that's what I thought when I saw the cat. Must pull new human, says John. And Arado says, I gotta pull for best girl. War with the warning. Arado also rerolled it to get some of the new styles. Hillsby, thank you again for the Lolo update. Lolo is much needed in our supports. Game Ryu is great, but he cannot carry the whole team for our members. So Lolo is a boom. Defense and attack booster, BP battery, and other things. A different kind of support, the Jiva and Suna, but good. Scarecrow is made to support blunt squads, but instead of applying weak defense, bolsters your squad's blunt output the more you attack. Does not have a turn limit. Yeah, it's not really a weak defense, but okay. Ruman is a pierce DPS that uses MRs. Really geared towards remembrance, similar to Rose and Tyler, but for MRs. And Brownie as well. But yeah, Lotus is a star, but these are not that bad. The other banner, I think it's better, but not by much. I really think they have similar grading because Lolo is crazy. So I slightly disagree, but I agree with most of what Chaos B is saying. Chaos Piper says, thanks for the translation. Oh, Chaos Piper here. I've been looking forward to Dolores since the SaGa Mirror Beyond playable demo. Good luck on people pulling. Real good luck to all of us. Waiting for Dolores and Lolo with 120,000 gens saved. Team, I didn't think these banners would get paired up in the same week. The next set of EB banners after this one are a suite of cards I mostly haven't found a way to recruit on the party through playthroughs of EB, and it's been nearly 5 runs. Arado says, for those following up, JP, Dolores and Lolo are the solutions to clearing Spiral 340. A lot of folks are stuck in that floor. Really? Myself included because of how ridiculously powerful the enemies become. Yes, I'm back. I started a new account both in JP and Global. I'm back to scrapping 300 gens for single pulls in JP, with no backup gens. Thank you, Reprint Middle, for draining my Jewish stash. And just started in Global and bulldozing through the challenges with no armor characters. Ah, yeah, nice, Arado. Welcome back. Hens also said welcome back. Let me see if any other comment appeared here. No new comments. Let's check on the other post. Yappy always posts as well. Yappy, where is Yappy? Yappy is here. Lolo is like Tsuna, you just put him in everything and he's instantly better. Yeah, you were right. So she likes her more than expected. Has 2 passes, one on turn start and one that gives a on chance on hit. Oh yeah? Wait, let me check again. Attack lands, 50% chance. Attack lands, 50% chance. Ah, yeah, the odd turn, even turn thing is based on turns, and the other one is based on attacks. It's because it's Brilliant Flow on the turn begins, but then this is related to the attacking. To all allies. Yeah, it's still. You misread it, Warrior? What do you mean? Meanwhile, let me check Yab's post. A tall putty tat. Here's my summary on the upcoming double banners with Dolores. Dolores is a very powerful attacker. She's not only do great damage herself, but also provides buffs to Shadow and Slash. We have a lot of Slash types. She'll be, of course, a boon for Remembrance battles. That's why I'm purposely holding off clearing Axe Remembrance for Hana Warrior till I get her. Same. And also have applications outside of that. In JP, she was used to help clear Spiral 240, which according to the JP players is one of the toughest Spiral challenges. I thought the chance passive was on hit, not turn start. Ah, yeah. It's on turn start, right? Lita. Lita is an awkward support. On one hand, her passive 1 is really nice, but her passive 2 is limited to her skill 2. Becomes useful later. Maybe useful if one needs help in Remembrance with Road Blocker and Hana Water. Yeah, she would instantly help you with Remembrance, and seems like she has a gimmick that will be useful here and there when reviving people. I don't know if other bosses will still kill you with guarantee kills. Water. Water is a powerful jammer, albeit a little RNG, but once RNG is his favor, bosses will do no damage to your party and will be able to inflict tons of damage with all of the debuffs. What does he debuff to make you do more damage? Only Endurance will, no? He does not debuff the enemy defense. How would you do much more damage? I don't know. Not through that a lot of bosses have Defy weakness nowadays, so his usage will be limited. It has to be in between movements. Lolo. Lolo is a fantastic support, acting as a BP battery and providing party with both mitigation and damage. He will be useful in upcoming high difficulty boss fights, and he's a cat, so what's not to like? Fully agreed. Scarecrow is a nice support, not just for guns, but blunt attacks overall. Hence, I may see applications outside of Remembrance. Also got a lot of that derpy luck. I will use him because I have Minstrel. Without Minstrel, not as much. Gurman. Gurman is essentially a Mart support solely for Remembrance, or in some cases, where all or majority of the party consists of MRs, not impossible true since we have got a number of powerful MRT styles in recent times. Series applications will mostly be on Remembrance. Overall, if pulling this week, it's really for Lolo and Dolores. Bummer that they are on different banners. The two gun styles are good bonuses, in particular Scarecrow if it comes before Lolo. Apologize for any. Okay, let's say thanks as well. Thanks. Thanks for the review. Yappy. Stern start is bad reading. It's hard to comprehend, man. I always appreciate your input, Yapping. Been saying for a long time, and I plan to sweep those cards if I'm lucky. Then hold for S3 and 5.5 Romancing SaGa cards. Save through the summer banners OP unit spending into the new story arc. I went all in on the protagonist for EB, and now I have to decide on one if I want to go for these banners. I wanted all EB, but I was not ready for 4 banners in a row. No one was ready. Thank you, Snail. You think that's bad? That's pretty a century pair of Romancing SaGa 3 banners right around the corner. The good news is nothing here is mandatory, just very nice. For S3 or for EB? Perfect, Sumer. I mean, you will always try to pull for EB. Unlimited SaGas, they are my favorites. RS3 will have to just make me sad. Well, I guess that's the end. We are also closing to 2 hours of stream. If you guys agree with me or not, for now I'm deciding about giving a gold award for Lolo. Both banners receive gold. I don't want to give gold plus because it's different. Suna banner was gold plus. We had 3 groundbreaking characters. Here we have some average units as well in the middle. So gold for both makes sense for me. So I don't know, maybe a gold minus for some. I just want rerun banners. They won't appear. No rerun banners, only on anniversaries and half anniversaries. But I guess that's it, my friends. If you have something to say and you haven't said it yet, you can type me on Discord as well. I try to make the review before I go to sleep. I'll have dinner now with my mother. But tomorrow we are back for more content. Just want to thank you all for being here up to this point. It's been amazing. Click the like button if you can before I leave. And thanks so much. Have a great rest of your days and a weekend as well. Good luck when you pull. I believe it may be good to just win one banner first and decide the other banner later, since it's hard. If you want, at least the next week is probably super skippable if you don't have any fun for the Morale Beyond units. Well, I don't think those characters are all that popular. Yaku and Musashi, that is. Rest of like, thanks. Time to reroll more accounts. Maybe you get more lucky now. Ah, I only have 49 minutes left. That's not much. But that's it, my friends. See you soon. Thanks so much. And see you on the next video or live stream. Goodbye. Oh, the soundtrack was over. I didn't know. We played for 1 hour and 20 minutes though.